Remembering to unmute myself, because that's a thing. Double check that's all working. Yeah, okay. Oh boy. This is a thing. Guessing, yeah, that's still being done. That's fine. We don't need it to be good. We just need to get through. Alright, now let's double check all of these things again before we get stuck into this. Okay. Look good there, looks good there. Okay. So, long and short of this is that I know a lot of people with all of the isolation everyone's doing are wanting to play D&D online for the first time, and as they're trying to isolate and quarantine and all that jazz. So I figured I'd do a little instructional video stream thing showing you guys how to do it. So we started with the basics. Here we have, give me 1 second guys, just doing a million things at once. This is a whole new everything. Whole new everything. Oh boy. So we're creating a new game in Roll20. Can you guys see my mouse? Is that a thing? Let me double check that. You should be able to, but it's gonna suck if you can't. Capture cursor. There we go. Cursor? Exist? Maybe? Oh, there we go. Okay. Cool. Cool. We're good. We good. Alright. So. Start a new game. Call it the Glorious Game of Awesomeness. We choose a character sheet. This part is pretty important because it's how it does everything for you, but we're just going to use 5th edition D&D because that's the easiest. So that's what we're going to do. Yay. That's really all I've got to give this. It shows you a sample of what the character sheet looks like. It tells you a bunch of things. You do have like these modules. So Roll20 has modules you can buy normally that give you pretty much an entire campaign done for you. Like as a GM, you get that, you're done. Like that's, you're good. And with the whole coronavirus scares and people trying to help out, they've actually made a bunch of these free. I think till May sometime. So, yay. But we're just going to make something from scratch. If you buy one of those, fantastic. If you use one of those, you don't need this instruction. So, we've got a game. We can put a picture up here. Doesn't really matter what. We can schedule a game. It will schedule in your time zone. So when you make your account, you choose your time zone. And if I say 7:15 p.m. New Zealand time, which is what it is right now, for like a US player, it will actually transpose it to their time zone for them and tell them how long till the game starts. So that's pretty good. You can create posts and stuff in here for your players, or your players can make stuff in there as well. You can do description, all of these things. But we're just going to have a quick look-see in here at game settings, and then we're going to jump into the game because I don't want to flop around with all this. So in here you get various things. You can allow public access to your game. Probably not going to want to do that. This is a pro setting here that you can have. You can allow characters to import their characters from other places. There's just a heap of stuff. You can let them share compendium. So if you buy the books for various editions of games, you can share the stuff from those books with your players, which is pretty cool. Character sheet, you can don't do this. Like that box, don't tick it. It's tempting. Don't do it. I made the mistake once. Just don't do it. You probably do want the character mensor on. You can choose how you like with the things query and stuff, but this is just to give you an idea of the settings you can have on in here, how you like your... Thank you for the follow, Falkish Joseph. I'm not sure why my sounds aren't playing. Maybe my alert box is not being good. Why are not being good? Let's no, it won't even let me re-roll that one. But it should be fixed for future. I'm sorry you didn't get all that. You can do encumbrance and inventory. You can choose your features and trades, NPC roles. There's lots of stuff. But I just wanted to show you that before I jumped into the actual game making. So, the glorious game of awesomeness. We launched game. Obviously you'd add players to your game. You can send them an invite. Ooh, that's not good. This is a little bit off to the side, but we can just drag it over a bit. Ooh, we're losing so many things. This is not going to be the prettiest, but I want to make sure you guys can actually see everything. So give me 1 second to just fluff around. In fact, I'll do this so my fluffing around is less invasive for you lot. Oh boy, it's not ideal. And then just trying to make this as coherent as possible. Yeah, that'll do. You just get a pretty little box down the bottom. Don't worry about it. It's not pretty, but what can you do? Okay. Awkward shapes and all that. No, we don't need that being that big. So this is where you start. This is just loading into Roll20. Got a blank piece of paper. You can zoom out a little bit. You're looking for a map builder for your Ninja World. This is Roll20, and it is amazing. So I'm actually going to load up a thing from one of my other games, one of my maps. It should be able to come across real easy like. So we're just going to grab this map because my players have already seen it. So if they come across this video, they're not getting spoilers. That should be done. So this, fingers crossed it all works properly. This is a map from my streamed game of D&D. These are some of my players' tokens. And you can see it looks pretty. We have shadows from trees. We have... Apparently they can see so far that it's not showing the darkness. Here, let me... Cute little thing here. If you actually do Control L on a token, if you're a GM, you can see what that token sees. So this is what a player would see. This is what Altair here can see right now. So this is what it's like for them. So this is a map I've made using various things. I'm going to try and walk you guys through how I do it, what everything is, but this is what it's looking like for them. Yeah, so I know there's a lot of GMs out there wanting to move their games from IRL to online, and I want to be able to help in the little way that I can and make it easier for you guys. So this is hopefully what I'm going to show you guys how to do. We're just going to have a little pop over here to settings. Do a couple of things that personally I find really good to have done. So one of the big ones is I hate this covering up my screen. Like, you have one for each player, so like the next player would join here and it would cover. So no. You can do voice chat and video through this, in which case totally it's super useful. But I personally prefer doing voice and video through Discord. So we're gonna just chuck this to names only and have it go away. And just for my own sanity, we're just gonna say we want to receive from others is somewhere here. I want to broadcast nothing and I want to receive nothing. And that's all I'm going to do there. So, back to basics. So, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to talk about tokens. Roll20 has lots of various things you can do. There's free assets. There's quite a lot of free assets at the moment. Roll20 has been great in providing some for people. Whether you like them or not is really just personal preference, but this is some of the, like, you get some NPC tokens in here. You could have, what do we have here? Some lizardy type peeps going on in here. We have, what else do we have? Characters. I haven't actually looked at these in so long. So this is all the free stuff that we're looking at right now. There's even like dungeon tiles. Oh, you can't see. Hold on. Hold on. Just gonna move us over here so you can see this. We've got some like dungeons down here. Free sci-fi stuff. All this stuff. But on top of that, you can buy token packs. So, obviously this is expensive because they're usually about $4.99, $5 basically, US for a token pack. How much you get in them depends on the art creator, but you can find ones you like. But the thing I'm going to direct you all to, because it is the best thing ever, is Volatile's Mapper packs. Because if you're a GM, these packs are the absolute best, and I'm going to show you why right now. So this one, like, this is my straight up, like, this is, if you were going to buy one token pack and that was it, this is the one you should buy. Straight up. This is the token set for forest creating. So these are some of the tokens that we get here. There's a lot, and I mean a lot. So we're going to come down to this one, and we're just going to grab plain old grassy background, and we're actually going to chuck it over to the map layer. These are your tools, by the way. This is the select tool. This is the choose what layer I'm on tool. This is the draw tool. And we're going to ignore the rest for now. So we're going to go to our map background, and we're just going to make this ginormous. And now we have grass. Already we're looking a million times better. You could just play with that. You don't need all the rest, it's just flavor. But we're going to have the rest. So we want a cliff. So this one, they usually say in the corner here how big they're meant to be. So this one's supposed to be 4 by 15 squares. So we want to be 1, 2, 3, 4 across by 3 at the moment. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You don't have to listen to it, but it looks its best when you put it at the size that it's intended to be. Let's put it that way. We're going to have, just for funsies, another little hill up here. How big are you supposed to be? Like 6 by 6? Alright. Yeah. Just plop you there. Looks great. Maybe down here. Yeah. That looks aesthetic-ish. And then we might want a path for our brave adventurers to wander down. So this one was, what, 23 by 4. Ooh, that's long. So 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, by 4. And then we can use this to spin it round. And we'll have it run down there and then, like, I don't know, chuck some of these on to extend it a little bit further. And just say if you guys have any questions as I'm kind of flicking through this. When the peeps that are live, I'm trying to keep an eye on that as well. Just better double check the YouTube chat as well, not just the Mixer one. Did you drop on? Come on. Oops. Oops. Clicking all the wrong things. Don't worry about it, guys. It's fine. So one thing, if you can't get things to line up like this, advanced is drawing, and then you can just drop them wherever they want, and they won't try and lock to the grid in the background. Super useful. So we've made our path. We've got a cliff. We've got a little hill thing. I don't even know what that is, but we're gonna call it a hill thing. Let's have a pond, 9 by 9. Or is that even a pond at that point? It's more of a lake. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Little pool of water there. And then we're gonna just start chucking some random bits and bobs in. Some rocks for a little bit of aesthetic. These, like, just adding some of these little bits is honestly one of the best ways to just make it feel natural. I cannot emphasize this enough. Just little bits and bobs here and there. And honestly, literally just throw these things wherever you feel like you just need a little bit of something extra. At the moment, we're just sticking to kind of the rocks and the pebbles to do that. But now let's move on to bushes. Bushes are way up here again. Oh, we can add a cave. Do we want a cave, guys? Yeah, let's totally have a cave. Let's chuck a cave in. I'm just going to sit as a drawing in. So you could try and kind of smush it into one of these ones. And see if we can make it look vaguely natural. Like it doesn't initially, but when you don't know that wasn't supposed to be there, you don't notice. It's fine. Bushes! Gotta love some bushes. We're just gonna throw a few of these around. Some general flavor. Try not use the same one too many times because then it starts getting obvious. I'm going that direction. Yeah, totally. Like that. I kind of want that. Yeah, along that cliff for some reason. And then my favorite part, trees. Way down here. So you have all the bits and bobs, so you can have like a tree stump somewhere. It's probably nice and whoop, run off with the grass. It's fine. It's fine. Just chuck a tree stump, I don't know, there. But the best ones are these ones that use all of them, so they have the what is it called? I'm honestly just blanking on the name of this right now. And I should probably move my cam back over here-ish so you can see more of the map. Doop. the base of the tree, shadows, like leaf litter, and the actual tree all in one is my favorite. So this one's a 5x5 tree. 5x5. This one's another 5x5. 6x6. So I actually like that a little bit overhanging more, so we're going to put that there. So some of these smaller trees, 3x4. That can cover the path a little bit. 4x3 here. 3x3. I don't know, however much tree you want, really. This is all obviously preference. Personally, I'm a big fan of putting some trees around the edge of the water because it just makes it look so much better. So there you go, we've got a basic map. Oh wait, no, hold on. I need one more tree. I have to put a tree on there. It's not even a question. There has to be a tree on there, right? Like, can't have a little hill like that without a tree. Alright, so we go back to the token layer. So this is the layer that our players will hang out on. So before I get too much into that stuff, the next thing I'm going to show you is actually dynamic lighting. Now this is a plus or above. So Roll20 has 3 membership levels. They have free membership, which is free. You can run games, you can join games, yada yada yada. Like, you don't have to pay anything to use Roll20. But you can do plus membership, which is again like $4.99 a month US. And then there's Pro, which I believe is $9 US. So this feature, dynamic lighting, is a plus feature. So you do have to pay monthly for this. So we're going to flick this on. We're going to turn on Fog of War, Advanced Fog of War, and Dynamic Lighting. We do want to see the grid. We want Enforced Line of Sight. We want them to only update on drop, and we want to restrict movement. So Enforced Line of Sight means they won't be able to see through walls we create with our dynamic lighting. Update on drop means they can't just hover their character around everywhere seeing everything. And restrict movement means that they can't walk through walls. It's pretty straightforward. It's great for stopping them doing stupid things. It really, really is. So we click that and you'll notice our map goes dark. So the first thing we have to do is hit reveal areas. If areas are not revealed, they will just look like blackness. So in fact, let's get a sample token in for this. Let's just grab a heroic spear fighter. You'll do nicely. Hey, it's Araxis! Chuck you onto the token layer where you're supposed to be. And for some reason it always makes their view go out the wrong direction. Don't worry about it, it's fine, we can fix that. And we're gonna, my favorite for distance they can normally see is like this with a 160 angle. They have sight, and all players see light means that other players will be able to see what they see, which we're not going to have at the moment. And you're going to reveal Fog of War for 30. So, if we're seeing what this token sees, they can see this right now. They've got they're bright light for 30 feet, they've got dim light for another 30, and then darkness. If we turn them around, same thing. But if they walk in here, none, because we didn't reveal this area. We've hidden it. They can't look there. So this is why we have to reveal things. It's kind of important. Also, out of curiosity, why are you not revealing? Yeah, I'll deal with that later. So, reveal areas. Let's do the rest of our beautiful map we've made here. Alt, by the way, while you're doing this, makes it lock on to the squares so you don't miss edges. Super useful. So now they can see. But we don't want them to be able to see through the trees. We want the trees to have shadows. We want the trees to block vision. So what we can do is we can go to our dynamic lighting layer and we can go to draw. And we're going to draw a shape. And we'll do it in a nice and bright purple so we can find it when we need to edit it at some point. And our first option is a square. Squares are great and all. They're good for buildings. But not so useful for trees. So we don't want a square. So we're going to hold Alt. And we get a circle! Yay, circles! Trees are circular. So now we're just going to make a whole bunch of circles on all of our trees. Being like, they have trunks. That's what they're called, guys. I remember, they're trunks. Trunks, trunks, trunks. And like, you could be super perfect and precise about where you wanted your trunks to be, but I'm a big fan of it's about there-ish and about this big. You're really not gonna care that much when you're players. So there we go. Now we have tree trunks. That easy. So if we go back to our objects and tokens and we select Little Miss Spearfighter here, and we're going to have another look at what she can see. And you'll see there's tree trunks. She can't see through them. And it's pretty neat. Yep, we did that. Good job, team. A little bit baffled on why the fog of war isn't working correctly, but that's fine. It should be. But I don't know why it isn't, so I'll worry about that later. So, we've just added shadows and lighting to our map. Woo! So hard. Took so long, right, guys? No. Super easy. Obviously, the more complicated your map is, the more complicated it gets. This map had like a handful of trees. It was easy. So just to give more of an idea of how it can start getting difficult, maybe we'll put a house here. So we're going to go back to our map. We're going to move this tree over there somewhere. We'll have to remember to move its lighting. And this bush can go away somewhere. These can just shuffle over. I'm going to make a clear spot just here. And we're going to put in a building. Nothing too complicated. It's a nice little small building. This will do. How big are you supposed to be? 8 by 8. So 3 by 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we have a little homesteady thing. So again, we're going to go to our dynamic lighting layer and we're going to say this tree moved over there. So you need to go be with that. But now we need to draw lighting for our building. And for this, we're going to seriously zoom in because it starts getting a little bit finicky. So these walls, we're going to switch to, sorry, I should explain this, polygon line. And we're going to click, starting at a doorway, and then at each point we click. And it starts drawing like this. So you can be as refined as you want. I've just realized there's like a fireplace there and I just went straight over it. So we're going to do that again. I'm not being super precise right now because I'm just showing you guys what you're doing, but oof, all right, that was too crazy of an angle for me, even for my not precise. And then we're gonna other click to finish it. Right click even. I was going to be more helpful with my terminology. And then gonna add some inside walls. Done. Done. So obviously you can see how this gets a little bit more time consuming now. Done. Especially if you have a lot of buildings. Starts getting a little bit more frustrating. So there we go, we have walls. So if we switch back to our tokens and we grab our lovely tester up here, we switch into her view and we wander her down to this beautiful house and she goes, oh, it's a house. And she walks in. Now, if dynamic lighting was actually working for us, this would be a lot prettier to look at, but struggling. Nope, we reloaded the page. Well then. Good job, Roll20. So you can see she can look around. I wish I knew why my fog of war wasn't working for this one. It might be because she's not actually linked to a character sheet. You try actually pulling a character. So let's say we grab one from here. You want a character, we want we're gonna grab this as well, just because I will want it later. And we want, let's grab Darian Ralph. Alrighty, go away now. Let's get you out of here and bring in Darian. Now he should just drag and drop. Theoretically, nope, still does not want to fog of war. Let's just try turning it off and on again. You never know when that might help. Why would it help? Who knows? But it might. I can be hopeful, damn it. Alright, we're going to try and reset fog. Because this does seem to be a little bit janky. I'm not entirely sure why. It couldn't possibly go easily for me when I'm trying to show you guys. Nope. Nope, still not working. I don't know, guys. It doesn't like us today. But, so now we have a map. Oh, one other thing I want to mention on dynamic lighting is doorways. My suggestion for doorways, so say you've drawn your walls out of purple, but you want doorways on these doors for them to open and shut them. Now, these things are not easily implemented, but how I suggest doing them is we go to our line again and we're going to do something totally different. We're going to do bright red and we're just going to go shump, shump. How much you want to make sure there's no like little cracks they can see through is up to you on whether you make sure it's hard against those lines or whether it's got a little gap. But we just do that for all these doors. And then later, when they come up and they unlock and open these doors, you can easily select these separate bits and delete them or move them as you so choose. So you can see there's a little crack and he can just see slightly in there. I'll show you what that looks like from his perspective. So he can see like a little slither, but like not much. He comes over here, then he can see like a faint little bit. So I quite like a little crack in doorways sometimes. Be like, ooh, what's in there? That looks interesting. But I can't see enough to tell what's going on. Up to you. So yeah, that's basic lighting stuff. And then the other thing I'm going to add here is we're going to go to our GM layer, which is super useful, by the way. You can just write notes to yourself. Before I get into this whole thing, you could just be like text. And we'll make it bright red so we can see it more easily. Lock DC 15. Oop. And then that's just there. It's pretty hard to see. It's slightly transparent, but it's there. And that'll just help you remember things. But if we head back to our GM overlay, and we're gonna select this. Now, I haven't done this a great way. Give me 1 second. So back in our game settings, there is something we can turn on called API. So instead of launching game, you can go into the game and you can go to settings and you can go to API scripts. And theoretically, this is going to show up for you guys. Yes. All right. So you can go to API scripts. Now this is a pro feature. So remember how we talked about there were 3 levels of membership: free, plus, and pro. Pro is the big one, so it does cost $9 a month, I think. But you can get things like trap. Now I have to find it. There's all sorts of things in here. There's so many things. But we're just going to grab It's a Trap, D&D 5th edition generic. And we're going to say add script. And it's going to say, are you sure? We'll need to add all these things. And we're going to say yes. Do it. Do it all. Do all of the things. And then, let me just see if I remember. We're just going to go to here and we say we're using the OGL script because we are. We're going to save it. We can ignore all the other boxes, and I don't think we even have to do anything with this one. Alright, and we're back to our game. And what we've just done is you'll now notice this thing showed up. So we can make traps. So to show you what a trap is like, if I were to put Darian here, a wonderful example, and we were going to go into his view, this is what he sees. Well, he doesn't actually see that because for some reason it's still showing it, but that's on the GM overlay, so he can't actually see that. All he can see is a room. I'm just gonna flip this onto here.
I did it all alone!
I'm gonna wonder
You helped a little.
if I was on the right thing. Thank you so much for the follow, Sam. It's greatly appreciated. Wander over here, and it's gonna go, you triggered a trap. And it did a whole bunch of things it didn't know, but the gist of it is it did some stuff. It did a trap. I'll show you how to set the things up, but it triggered a trap. Stop. Stop sucking him in. Didn't want that. No. Alright, so what we're going to add here is, first I'm going to go to the jukebox. This is super useful. We'll go into this more later, but I'm just going to quickly add a thing. You can see all my mini playlists of stuff that I've created here for all sorts of situations. And for some reason it decides that all of them must be opened completely. And the one I was looking for isn't even there. Cool. No, we'll just add this one. That'll be great. It's not the sound I wanted, but it's fine. And then we're gonna grab a token. So again, I'm using ones that I've bought here, but you can use various free ones. You can add your own images to the game real easy. And we're gonna have just a tile, a trapped tile. And we're going to send it to our GM layer. We're going to move ourselves into our GM layer so we can interact with it. Because you'll see we can't interact with things on the map or token layer while we're in this. Only the GM layer. Hit its trap. And this whole thing shows up. And there's a lot here. But we're just going through go through the basics. You can name your trap. We're not going to bother. You can make sure whether it's a trap or it's not a trap, but something else they can encounter. Doesn't really matter what too much. You can have it whisper some notes to you as the GM. So we're just going to do an example one here. Every time you change settings like that, it creates a new one in the chat. It's very annoying. Don't do this while you're mid-game. It will spam your chat and you will lose everything and it'll be very annoying. Don't do it. You can decide whether it affects flying targets. Blast distance. We're going to give this a blast distance of 5 meters, and you'll see this box showed up. So that's the blast distance. We can have the token sucked into the center of the trap. We could have them stop at the edge, or we could have no effect and it doesn't control their movement. So the basic one is center. We can change it to a circle if you want. It's a thing you can do. What else do we want? Where are we up to? There we go. Set trigger itself. We're not going to ignore any tokens. You can edit all these things, but I'm just doing some of the basic stuff. We're going to have a search distance of 15, I think, is a good radius. So again, this is a green circle that shows how close they have to be to find it. Now we're going to have a special effect. Now this is another pro feature, so do be aware that these are some pro features. So we're going to have a bomb dash of smoke centered on the trap itself. Just do that, and we don't need the second value. We're going to have a sound that plays, and it's going to be this arrow trap barrage. I don't know what this trap is at this point. It's got smoke, it's got arrows, it's got I don't know. But anyway, next you have to choose some of the big things. So there's generally 2 types of traps that you need to worry about this section for. One is that they have an attack, and they have an attack bonus and damage, and that's it. Or they have a saving throw and damage. So we're gonna do a damage. So it does 2d6 damage on hit, and if they fail their saving throw, it still does half damage. It has a saving throw with Dex, and they have to beat 13. Unlucky 13. and just throw in here, I don't know why this is in this box instead of way out there with the other things to do with it, but we're going to have a search DC of 14. So, we have a trap now. So when we go into here and we pick up Darian as our test dummy, we're just going to sample him walking in. So, first up, he walks in, nothing happens. Darian is not very wise. He doesn't have a very high passive wisdom. So he keeps wandering in, oblivious, and triggers the trap. And this happens. We get a sound, we get some visual effects, we get... You guys can't see the thing in chat that I'm showing you. There you go. We get... Gee, over there. We get a thing coming up in chat saying it's a trap. It targeted Darian. He rolled a 3 versus the DC of 13, so he didn't make the save. So he took 2d6 damage, which was a 4 plus a 1. So he took 5 damage. You do have to manually input the damage, but that's fine. It's whatever. Now say we wanted this trap to be easier to find. Say it's got a DC of 8. This is a really easy to spot trap. This trap was probably made by some children. It's very obvious. So this time Darian wanders into our search circle and Darian notices a cunning trap. And it creates this beautiful yellow circle saying, hey look, I think there's a trap there. A couple of the other things you can do is you can have it make this tile show either when the trap goes off or when it's spotted by somebody. These are options you can do. I haven't, but this was just an example. This is how you add some automated traps to your games. It does make them a lot easier than just trying to have it go off all the time, like manually. It's just easier. We'll just put that there for now. So we've made a map. We have a beautiful map with lighting and traps, and you know what I think we need? I think we need some background music for this. So we're gonna go to here. I'm gonna again go to here, go to this one. We're going to add this playlist to my game. Honestly, it's just easier. And we're going to say it's nighttime in the forest, so we're going to put this on repeat and play. And you guys should start here when it figures itself out. Some lovely forest sounds. Yay, forest sounds. So now we have atmosphere. So, that's making a map. There's heaps more you can do. This is just some basic fleshing out stuff. Obviously you can create characters. One of the things I highly suggest for any DM using Roll20 is buy the Monster Manual book. The reason for that is you can add monsters. So say I wanted to add some orcs. I'm going to type it into the compendium because I own this. And then we've got a monster thing here and we can just start dropping these guys in. And we get this beautiful handout with character sheet handout, pictures and stuff about them, stuff about their society and what they do and things about them. But we also get this fully fledged character sheet and a beautiful token. And so say this orc did an attack, we just click Great Axe and there we go. If we rolled a critical hit to attack somebody, stuff is pretty sweet. Roll queries. Let's auto roll damage. And query advantage. Just because that's nice. Wait, that's how you do that. So then I could say, difference here is I roll normal attack. We've got the attack, which we can see is a 1d20, which rolled a 5 plus a 0 modifier. Actually, sorry, no, a 19 plus a 5. If I was reading that correctly. We roll the 19, it has a plus 5. And this one rolled a 10 on a d12 and got a plus 3. So 13 slashing damage. They have all of this put in for you, which is now in here, ready to go. You can drag more on. Have a whole army of orcs. So now we have some monsters for him to fight on our map. Everything's looking good. So yeah, this is making a map with sounds, lighting, traps, some special effects. I was very minor on the special effects, but this was just a wee little run through of how I make my maps. Yeah, I might do some more of this. I'll probably edit this video for YouTube once I finish this live stream. Try and make it a little bit more straightforward and less waffly. But yes, if people are keen, I'll do another one about making characters and all that kind of stuff, but I've had a lot of questions about this, so I thought I'd just show you guys. Like I said, tokens are really useful. There is a whole bunch of free stuff. You can use the free stuff. You can get your own pictures from the internet. If you're not streaming, that's totally fine. But if you do want to buy some token packs and you're not sure what to get, my biggest suggestion is honestly Viletile's mappers. You'll see I have various ones here: forest mapper, dungeon mapper, river mapper, water mapper, all of this stuff. He has so many different ones, and they're honestly the best. They're my number one, the things I would suggest actually spending your money on, if you're going to spend a little bit but you don't want to spend heaps, is pick a couple of your favorite mappers by Gabriel Picard, who does these Viletile map packs. Monster manuals, so you can have drag and drop monsters without having to stat their character sheets and all that. It saves you so much time. And then if you feel like it, you want to have the lighting and maybe even the special effects and traps and APIs and stuff, because you can do a lot more than just traps with APIs. You can do so much. Then you can do the monthly Pro or Plus. But yeah, that's maps. Yep. I'm not really good at this whole tutorial thing. It's not really a thing I've done before, but hopefully this helped some of you. If you want to see our game, it's 3 PM onwards on Sunday nights, CDT, so that's American time zone. If you're in somewhere like New Zealand, like me, that's 9 AM on Monday mornings. We have a really cool group. I'm the GM. We have 3 players from America, another one from Wales, and another one from England. And you can check me and them out then. EU times. Ooh. I can give you an... Ooh. Probably helps if I do that on a... Let you guys keep seeing that. Do it on a different browser so I'm not messing with you. Give me 1 second and I can find that out for you, because I've totally forgotten, even though I should know, because 2 of my players are in the EU. So that is in GMT, if that's helpful. That's 8 p.m. onwards on your Sunday night. Yeah, so another one coming up in like a day or so. 2 days, day. I don't know. Some amount of time from now, we're playing our next session. But you can also find it on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, obviously you're there. You can find a link to my stream on Mixer. If you're on Mixer, you can find a link to my YouTube on my stream. They're all interconnected. I'm Pixelette on everything. You should be able to find me pretty easily. Alright. Yeah, it's a pretty big decision to go live. This was something as a streamer, I normally stream video games, I was pretty keen to do, and I was basically like, I'm doing this, who wants to be in the game? And found some people that were happy with it. But I can understand the nervousness of going into that if you haven't, like if that's not what you got that group together for. It's a bit scary. But honestly, we have a ball of a time with it. It's super fun. I think it honestly makes our games better, even if we're all a little bit nervous. We have a lot more fun because we're actively trying to put on a show a bit more, which means characters get a bit more into their role playing than they normally do and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty good. I'd recommend it. Even if it's not to many people. Should be fun. And yeah. Alright. I'm going to end up here. Hopefully I'll see you guys next stream or see you popping into the YouTube and catch you next time. Bye!